Bragging rights for Eastern Waukesha County on the line tonight. A Greater Metro Conference matchup. Menomonee Falls taking on Sussex Hamilton. Good evening and welcome to Chargers Field, Sussex Hamilton High School. John Weiser and Terry Kelly up in the booth. John Pearson and Mike McGivern will be on the sidelines tonight. A big matchup tonight in the Greater Metro.
Well, they use the term rivalry game, and that accurately describes what goes on whenever these two meet in anything.
Right now we're ready for our national anthem. The United States Army Color Guard has made their way to the center of the field, and joining us tonight is Blue Lamp Records acoustic artist Eric Look and vocalist Michelle McCormick to perform our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Nicely done, Eric Look, along with Michelle McCormick to get things going here tonight. A couple of teams looking to shake a losing skid here this evening.
Both teams have been hit by the injury bug, and both of them are trying to have some of those key starters return again tonight.
Let's go to those keys to the game, brought to you by Heiser Automotive Group, and we start first with the visitors from Menomonee Falls.
Well, the big question, does Julius Davis return? We've been told by Coach Lutz that they plan on having him fill in spot-wise. We'll have to see how much he actually plays. It's also a huge rivalry game, and so they want to emphasize keeping your emotions in check. You've got to make sure you're under control, and then they have to match Sussex physicality. Sussex is always known as an extremely physical team.
For the Chargers tonight, what do they need to do?
Well, stop Julius Davis if he plays quite a bit, and if he doesn't play, they have to hone in on his replacements. They have to get points when they get inside the 20. The kicking game is going to be crucial. And then Hamilton needs to get their offense on track. They've been having a little problem putting points up on the board the past couple of games.
Those are your keys to the ball game tonight, brought to you by Heiser Automotive Group. Today's your day. There's John D'Amato, head football coach for Sussex Hamilton on the near sideline. Dan Lutz, head coach over at Menomonee Falls. Falls won the coin toss. They will receive tonight. They will defend the north goal to our left. Dominic Coleman and Quinton Reddig, a senior and a sophomore, standing deep to get things started.
Falls has got a number of sophomores playing critical roles tonight, so we have to see how do they adapt to this high-pressure game.
Andrew Schweigert has it teed up. Glad you're along tonight. Thursday Night Lights in Waukesha tonight. And the opening kick will go to Coleman. Makes his way to the 20, and he is buried at the 20-yard line. A host of Chargers in there, led by Zach Bagley. So we get off to a thunderous start on special teams. Watch this.
Zach is one of the inside backers. Perfect form tackle as he came in there. Put that runner down.
So the Falls offense, Julius Davis, we will see in spots tonight, according to Coach Dan Lutz.
Yeah, they're going to probably pick and choose just when that's going to be.
Right now it'll be Tamir Thomas as the featured running back. Thomas, a junior. He is standing behind the quarterback, Nate McLean. Man in motion, and we got our first penalty of the game. Quentin Redding was in motion.
That about foul, encroachment, defense. First down 5.
Lining up in the neutral zone here, the Chargers defensively. If you're Dan Lutz, you'll take that right now and take a 1st and 5.
That's part of keeping those emotions in check, making sure you're not losing sight of where you're supposed to be, and you're making sure that you watch that ball.
So 1st and 5, just across the 25-yard line. Again, Redding in motion. He'll get the handoff on the jet sweep coming around the left side, and the Charger defense was ready. May have lost a yard or two. Cal Botsford, the captain of that defense, able to make the stop for the Chargers.
Yeah, one of the players we featured as we talked about the players to watch tonight. Obviously, if your dad's the defensive coordinator, you've probably seen a little more film than some of the kids.
Lost a yard, 2nd down 6. Again, Redding split out here the near side. This time it'll be Tamir Thomas. Met in the backfield, breaks away. Thomas able to make something out of this, will get the 1st down, still on his feet, far sideline, and runs into Charger territory at the 49 of Sussex Hamilton. James Hayden finally brought him down. What a nice run by Tamir Thomas, the junior.
Yeah, we mentioned that Tamir has filled in admirably for Julius Davis, and you can see things were stopped up, reversed his field, kept going down that sideline.
26-yard run on behalf of Tamir Thomas. That's our Gruber Law Office's 1st down. 1st downs this quarter brought to you by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Over left tackle for a couple. Again, Thomas coming right back after that 24-yard scamper for a pickup of 2. Grant Reek, outside linebacker, able to make the stop. Again, a reminder, our broadcast tonight available streaming live online at my24milwaukee.com. Just click on the Thursday Night Lights link. Also find complete game videos and photos from this season's games. 2nd down and long. Thomas again met in the backfield. First man in was Jackson Koloth, the senior, coming back from injury and made the play there.
Right, that's one of those things that's contributed to this little losing streak for Sussex, but 230-pound strong safety comes up and really fills that hole.
No gain on the play. 3rd down 8 from the 46. Big 24-yard run by Thomas has set them up here in Charger territory, but falls unable to advance. They'll go with a 3-receiver look this time. On 3rd down, they're going to throw. McLean with time now breaks it down. McLean on the run down to the 42-yard line. Preston Olson there to make the stop defensively for the Chargers.
Here's one of those downs coaches have to make their choice early on in this game. And more than anything, Hamilton's coaches are saying, don't jump offside. Don't listen to the count, watch the ball.
See what McLean does. We'll put Redding, the flanker, out here on the near side. In the slot, Thomas. They'll throw on 4th down. It's picked off at the 40. He could run it all the way in, and he will. Lucas Finnessy, 60 yards, touchdown, Sussex Hamilton. Well, you talk about reading the quarterback's eyes. He jumped that right away.
Coach D'Amato said Lucas is one of the best players he's coached. Only a junior, somewhere between 215, 225 pounds. Plenty of D1 and D2 interest early on with
Lucas. A couple of
Lucas.
schools here tonight that were talking with D'Amato about him earlier. 60-yard interception return. Puts the Chargers up. Schweigert gets this one away, and it is good, just inside the right upright. 7-0. The defense getting on the board here for Sussex Hamilton.
You know, if you're a team like Falls, you're kind of trying to search for what's going to be your offensive identity. Your number one rusher has been hobbled and hasn't been in. So you're trying to find that balance between pass and run. And Finney read that play well, broke on the ball, took it in.
Well, a moment like that with Finney could end up being our highlight tonight, an important point in the game. It could be our watershed moment. That feature is being brought to you by Sweetwater, Southeast Wisconsin Watersheds Trust. 60-yard interception return by Finney, 7-0 Sussex Hamilton. I like what Lutz was doing there, going with the running back in the slot, was looking that way, but unfortunately McLean, his eyes were laser beamed in on that receiver. The defensive back Finney read it perfectly.
Yeah, Nate's only a sophomore, and obviously he's been put into this situation. They've been quite confident that he is capable of doing the job. Now they just got to see, okay, can they get his wits back? Can he respond and lead the drive this time?
Luke Nowak will take this one from his own 2. It's it across the 15 out to the 16-yard line. No flag on the play. Thought we had a block in the back. We had a clear look at it up here, Coach.
Right.
It was Grant Reek who came in to make the stop on special teams.
Yeah, one of those things, if we get a replay of the return, you see it quite clearly. But once again, I guess you have to tip your hat to the officials. More often than not, when we see the replays, we find out they've made the right call.
They'll spot this at the 19-yard line for the Falls. Before we get the snap, let's introduce a member of our sideline group here tonight, Mike McGivern.
So, guys, the offense really happy about what just happened, but they're chomping at the bit to get on the field. So, hey, guys, take it from here.
Tamir Thomas out across the 35, still on his feet to the 40-yard line. Tamir Thomas breaking off another long one. Lucas Finney, who just ran that one back, made the tackle.
You have to make sure you set your edge against Tamir, because once he gets to the outside, he's got the speed and the moves to hurt you.
Lost Will Enkening that time. Enkening came in. He was crashing in from his outside linebacker spot, gave up that edge.
Yeah, he read, where the play was headed, but all of a sudden you've got to work from the outside in.
Spotted at the 38. Again, Thomas trying to roll left and strung out nicely by the Charger defense. First man in was Zolikoffer, Robert Zolikoffer. No gain on the play, brings up second down and 10. Here you get a good look at Robert. 6'1", 224, and a junior.
A nice size across the front for Sussex Hamilton.
Get the 20-yard run again by Tamir Thomas, and things get bogged down here. Let's see if they can reverse that. McLean on the roll, gets it away in traffic, and it's incomplete, in and out of the intended receiver hand. That was looking for Michael Young, broken up by James Hayden, the free safety.
3, 2, 1,
There you see, in and out of his hand. He actually got hands on it a couple of times as Hayden closed. So 3rd and 10 for the Falls.
Nice play by Hayden, a young man with a 34 ACT. He's read his keys, paid attention to the game plan.
Reddick here to the near side along with Thomas in a slot. They'll go to Thomas up the middle and nothing there. Thrown incomplete. Jackson Koloff, the strong safety patrolling that area, was looking to drop some lumber once Thomas would make the catch.
You can see Jackson very happy to return to the lineup. Another one of those players who has battled back from some injury, in his case a knee injury, and probably won't play any offense tonight.
Sophomore Billy Howard does the punting for the Indians. Finney standing at his own 30. End over end kick away from Finney. It'll roll to him at the 20. Near sideline across the 31-yard line. 11-yard return for Finney will set up the Sussex Hamilton offense at their own 31 tonight with the lead 7-0. Stay tuned at the end of the game as we will highlight our player of the game. That is brought to you by the United States Army, Army Strong.
Yeah, Finney also an outstanding basketball player here at Sussex Hamilton. And you can see, not only plays well on defense, they've got him back there returning punts.
This will be Eric Arado, 6 foot 167, a junior, in at quarterback. Their first offensive play is Devin Lewinsky, the senior, on the carry. Running it right up the middle, brought down by Brett Borum, inside linebacker for the Indians.
Another one of the players we talked about as players to watch, leading tackler on the team this year for Menomonee Falls.
Here's the Sussex Hamilton offense up front. We talked about Gabe Easley, featured him in the pregame. He's the captain on this team, along with Zach Lawrence, the right tackle. Big one, 6'5", 294 up front. Again, they'll try and work the middle. Get it out short of the 40-yard line. Lewinsky again with that carry. Billy Howard, another linebacker in there. In 94, Reese Jesko in there.
Howard, another sophomore, playing a prominent role for the Indians.
Well, 3rd and short here for the Chargers. Here's the defense for the Falls. 3-4 alignment. Again, the linebacking core, very, very strong and young. This will be the quarterback. Arado, nothing there as he was pulled down immediately at the line of scrimmage. Billy Howard once again in there on the stop, preventing the first down. This will be an interesting call here for John D'Amato. Punt. Now, go back to what you said earlier. Hard count here, perhaps. You're at your own 40.
Worth a try. You just want to be the team that reacts to the hard count.
Coleman standing at his own 30. Dominic Coleman, one of the team captains for Menomonee Falls. Zach Storbakken, who's also a quarterback here. We'll see him behind center tonight, so that's always a threat as well here on 4th down and 1. He's going to run the option. He's going to try for the edge, and he's going to get the first down. The old spread punt formation. Able to run the right side. The end vacated. Billy Howard had to slide over on special teams to make the tackle. Zach Storbakken, the junior, able to run the punt fake nicely there.
Not only is he the backup quarterback, he's also listed as a running back, and he's one of the guys in the pregame as we were watching things going on. He's listed at 195. I think he might have stopped at the cafeteria a couple other times. You see he moves well, but he's got good size.
So they pick up the first down on the fake punt. 1st and 10 at the 42. First downs this quarter brought to you by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. This time they'll run counter over the right side, right to that teeth of that Menomonee Falls defense. Josh Jafuda, the strong safety, filling a gap that time, able to step in and make the tackle.
And your linebackers really have to stay at home because one of the key plays for Sussex over the years has been that counter. So if you start chasing that first inclination, you can really have guessed wrong.
Jafuda leads the team in tackles, 30 on the season. So 2nd down and 8. 5:15 to go here in the first quarter. 7-0, 60-yard Finney interception return for a touchdown to get things started tonight for the Chargers. This will be the quarterback on the fake. Nothing there. Maybe a couple. That's it. Arado, the ball carrier, 6 foot 167 and a junior. Jesko once again there on the stop for the Falls.
Yeah, fake that little jet sweep. Quarterback kept it. You'll see in this offense, the quarterbacks do keep the ball quite often.
Arado on the year with 2 rushing touchdowns. So he can take it upfield. Critical 3rd down here. 3rd and 6 from their own 46. Showing blitz, and they jump the neutral zone. Trying to time the snap. They'll take them from 3rd and long into 3rd and short.
I have delay of game equipment violation on offense.
Delay of
Still
game.
3rd.
Wow. I didn't see that. Watching the line of scrimmage, I saw the Falls defender jump the neutral zone right before the snap. call a delay here.
Only thing I can think of is, it must have been just a second before that guy got into the neutral zone.
So we'll call this one 3rd and 11. The ball back to the 41-yard line for the Chargers. See what John D'Amato has dialed up here. Arado rolling right, going to throw back left, has a man wide open here on the near side, makes the catch across midfield. Beautiful pitch and catch that time. Josh Muellmans with the reception. Jafuda there to make the stop.
And that was the case when they get to film study, they're going to say you should have cut back inside. You had your blocker set them up.
Well, they needed 11. They got 12 and a first down.
Josh's father, Jamie, a former head coach, might be talking about that at dinner after the game tonight.
5'9", 165. That's his 9th reception of the season.
Talking to Jamie at practice, he's very proud of what his son has been doing this year.
Fresh set of downs for Hamilton. Ball at the Menomonee Falls 47-yard line. Again, it's Lewinsky. Big hole up the middle. Lewinsky down to the 26-yard line. 19-yard run by Lewinsky. Coleman brought him down, the free safety.
Yeah, coming into this game, Lewinsky hasn't carried the ball all that often. Hasn't been a featured back, and he broke that through, kept grinding away.
6'1", 203, and a senior. Rather upright runner. Makes him tough to bring down. Spotted at the 27-yard line. 19-yard pickup that time by Lewinsky. 1st and 10 Chargers. Late here in this first quarter, a defensive score. They lead at 7-0. This is Arado on the fake. Arado inside the 20 down to the 18-yard line with a penalty marker down. Howard got him to the turf. We'll see if we can spot the penalty here. There was a hold right there.
I think that's Howard's 3rd tackle already on the evening.
Holding on the offense, replay first down.
Scott Kessler's crew tonight out of the Greater Metro. Supposed to be a 1st and 19 for the Chargers. 3.5 minutes to go here in the first, leading 7-0. From the Indian 36-yard line. Try the end around. James Troutman coming around the right side. Troutman inside the 30, cuts at the hash mark. Get those 9 yards back off of that penalty. We'll set up a 2nd and 10. Once again, Billy Howard, busy linebacker tonight. That's his 5th tackle.
Defensive coordinator Eric Rutsch, they've got a number of sophomores playing, and they've been impressed by how they're growing week to week in terms of playing, varsity football.
Troutman listed as a running back, but playing out as a wideout here. Comes to the near side. And again, they'll try the pitch. Got away from the quarterback. Loose on the turf, and I believe the Indians have recovered. A problem with the pitch. I believe it was Howard. Who else? Coming away with the loose ball. Jafuda may have been the one to knock it away.
One of those things, quarterback got a little deep into the line, and he tried to pitch it, and there were just too many people around.
2:36 to go here in the first quarter. We'll step out. Chargers with the lead over Menomonee Falls, 7-0. Our Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights on My 24. First turnover of the ball game, second turnover of the ball game. First one by Sussex tonight, and Menomonee Falls in business at their own 28-yard line. They trail 7-0. A Lucas Finnessy interception return for a touchdown. See the Miami-Dade, Florida Police Department's Crime Scene Investigations Unit in action as they solve crimes that other departments can't. Don't miss CSI Miami Friday nights this fall on My 24. Tamir Thomas getting the carry there, brought down by Zach Bagley. Picked up a couple, sets up 2nd and 8. Once again to the sideline and Mike McGivern.
So, boys, listen to the quarterback, Arado, for Sussex Hamilton, talking to his offensive line. He said, boys, that's on me. He said, you guys keep blocking the way you're blocking. It's going to be a real long night for Menomonee Falls. I like the moxie of this quarterback here at Sussex Hamilton.
Second down, Thomas stepping out of tackles, breaks 3 of them there, out to the 32-yard line, may have gotten a yard. But you can see the ability to shed tackles by Tamir Thomas. Grant Reek, the outside linebacker, finally got him down.
If you've watched any film of Julius Davis, that was something he was just excellent in terms of being hit, spinning, getting out of it. Tamir apparently was the good understudy and watched how that happened.
Again, special thanks to Dan providing wonderful food each week for our Thursday Night Lights staff and crew. Check them out at dandanmke.com for their complete menu and delivery options. 3rd and 6 from the 32. McLean has some time, now cuts up field, and he's going to be met and dropped. Tyler Walls, defensive end. That's a nice name for an end, huh? Tyler Walls closed in that time. The 6-foot junior able to make the stop.
You know, you go across that front 4 for Sussex. 3 of those guys starting are juniors. You know, it's a young team too.
Second punt tonight coming up here for the Falls. Billy Howard get this one away. This will be Finnessy, who scored earlier on that 60-yard interception return. The deep man here for the Chargers. Nice kick. This one will get downfield in a hurry. Takes a Indian bounce inside the 25 and out of bounds near the 23-yard line with 28 seconds to go here in our first quarter.
You can see both of these teams kind of struggling to get an offensive identity and to be consistent. So I'm sure, you know, as they head into the game, each of these coaches talking, okay, we've got to run our stuff. We've got to concentrate on your assignment, and let's just continue to move the ball.
Oh, and by the way, it's a rivalry game too, yeah. So you got that playing in the back of your mind for these youngsters tonight too.
Yeah, they run into each other, you know, being neighboring communities. So this game is a little bit more than just your typical game.
I love this stadium, Stan Grove Field here, the hedges around it. It has the makings and the feelings of a Southeast Conference college football atmosphere.
We don't have the horse anymore, though.
That's the first thing you asked about tonight. Where's the horse? Out to the 25-yard line, a gain of a couple. Billy Howard again in on the stop. Boy, is this guy something else. Just a sophomore, 6'2", 196, coming into the game, 30 tackles on the year. He's going to finish with at least a dozen tonight the way he's going.
He's going to have to ask for a raise, that's for sure. It's
in great form. I mean, low, shoulder, drive through the man, take him to the turf. You can't teach it any better. And he's a sophomore. That'll end our first quarter here at Sussex Hamilton High School. The homestanding Chargers with a defensive touchdown early tonight. They take the 7-0 lead. When we come back, our Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights presented by U.S. Cellular. Sussex Hamilton with the 7-0 lead as we begin our second quarter with Terry Kelly, John Weiser up in the booth with you tonight. Mike McGivern and John Pearson working the sidelines for us as always here on our Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights. Interesting formation here for the Chargers.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. There's a number of wrinkles that they typically do off this.
Rado, the quarterback, will hand off to Zorbacher, trying to go up the middle, got tripped as he got it across the 25 and fell forward short of the 28-yard line. Brett Borum made the stop, the inside linebacker.
That formation, the tight end and the split end are on the same side. Split end is up on the line of scrimmage, making the tight end ineligible. What they love to do is when you're not paying attention, get that same look, but they have a tackle there in place of the tight end. Tight end comes to the other side, making him an eligible receiver.
You were all over that in practice this week. I know you, Terry.
We called that Charger. That was a defensive call.
Yes. Storbacher again, big hole over the left side across the 35 out to the 37-yard line. A pickup of 9 and a first down. This quarter's first downs brought to you by Bryant and Stratton College Athletics. Dominic Coleman there to make the stop.
Yeah, Coleman, a first-team All-Conference player a year ago. You know, teams have been kind of running away from him, passing away from him. He had 5 interceptions last year. So, you know, his fame has kind of caused teams to try to avoid going to his area.
1st and 10 Chargers from their own 37. They'll fake the jet sweep. Want to throw. Arado's going to air it out. Man wide open. Makes the catch inside the 25. Down to the 23-yard line. Lucas Finnessy this time on offense. One of the few two-way players making his presence felt. Working the play action. Faked the jet sweep and then just ran him straight down the hash mark. Down to the 24-yard line.
You can see why Coach D'Amato is so excited about the future for Lucas Finnessy. As you pointed out, a two-way player. They've got to watch not to run him down too much. It's a little warmer tonight.
Arado now. Gonna swing it out. Left side. Completes the pass. Muhlmans inside the 20. Maury Bumba there to make the stop. Cornerback, 6 foot 150, a senior. He in double-digit tackles this season. That's his 14th.
Yeah, one of the guys Falls pointed to Eric Brutch as being really a key contributor.
Pick up a 5, 2nd and 5, just inside the 20-yard line. Again, Storbachen will get the call, and he is met right at the line of scrimmage. Good surge that time by the Indians up front to close that off. Storbachen nowhere to go. Kalen Jackson, sophomore again for the Indians, there to make the stop. Sophomore defensive end.
Yeah, you've got 4 sophomores sprinkled into this starting defensive lineup for Falls.
You're not supposed to see him there. That's the blackout tonight.
Oh.
So 3rd and 4 here for Sussex Hamilton at the 18-yard line of the Indians. And Arado hand it off inside. This time it's Devin Lewinsky. Lewinsky takes it inside the 15. Going to be close to a first down. Billy Howard again in on the stop once again.
Now, one of our keys we mentioned at the start of the game was getting inside the 20, getting points.
It is enough for a first down. Again, a Bryant and Stratton College athletic first down in the red zone here for the Chargers. 9 minutes to go here in this first half and leading by a score of 7-0. See if they can capitalize here. Arado has time. Back pylon. Man there. In and out of his hands, incomplete, but a flag down. What a hand-to-hand combat. Finnessy back there with a couple of defenders.
Definitely threw that to the corner. The corner pattern that you get is timing and trying to get the quarterback to drop that thing right in there.
Be a pass interference call here against Menomonee Falls. Should be half the distance here. We'll take one more look. A whole lot there, but he did not get his head around, I would assume.
That's interference on the defense, still first down.
That's one.
Who was the defender back there?
It looked worse than it was.
And again, perhaps with the defender not having his head turned around. So this will be a 1st and 3 here now at the 6-yard line. Again, half the distance penalty here. So one of those odd down and distances here. 1st and 3. And not quite. Arado trying to get it to the goal line that time. Takes it inside the 5.
Coming into tonight's game, Arado had thrown for about 190 yards, had run for 268.
Howard Shepard right in there again, along with Colin Heckman. Short of the first down, so 2nd and 1, ball at the 4-yard line. And Storbakken is the single back. Offset off the left hip of the quarterback. He'll get the call. He's met right in the backfield, may have lost a yard. I think it was Henry Hansen made first contact there, 44, the outside linebacker. Torrey Dyson. Dyson also there. Again, good surge up front again by the front three for this Indian defense. So 3rd and 1, and Coach John D'Amato wants to talk about it. Stopping play here with 7:37 to go in a 7-0 game, and a crucial moment here for his Hamilton Chargers.
Yeah, Lewinsky couldn't quite get that surge in the middle of that Falls defense. You've got Torrey Dyson, 6'1", 276 pounds. He's flanked by Kalen Jackson, 231. DeLand Smith, kind of little guy at 5'7", 207.
Let's head down to the sideline. Our first visit with John Pearson tonight.
Absolutely, and we're classing things up with our first visit of the night. Amy Burke from the Salvation Army, again, doing the most good, but you're kind of on standby to do some extra good here. Talk a little bit about your disaster relief and what you have to be ready for.
Yes, nationally, the Salvation Army has hundreds of people out in North Carolina and South Carolina helping with disaster relief. Locally, we are on standby. They will call us if they need any of us to come in and help with disaster relief.
Obviously, you don't want these things to happen, but it's also part of the rewarding part of being a part of the Salvation Army.
It is, and anyone out there, you can help. Financial donations work best because 100% of your donation will go back to the community that has been affected. You can donate by going to helpsalvationarmy.org or by texting STORM to 51555.
All right, Amy Burke, we're getting back to the action right now.
John and Amy, thank you very much. Arado fighting to get to the end zone. Couldn't quite get in there. Coleman able to make the second effort there and prevent him from getting in.
That was a play we saw them working on Monday night. Wide receivers flanked that way wide. Suddenly the offensive line runs up, gets over the ball. They want to sneak it right off the bat.
Let's see if they have enough here for the first down. They do. It'll be 1st and goal. So 1st and goal near the 2-yard line here for the Chargers. Arado wants his fan base on their feet. A full student section here tonight. We'll have Lewinsky in there. And run it out of that I formation. Let's see what they do here. Put Millman's in motion. They'll go up the middle and not quite. Arado trying to fight his way in there. Again, it's 6 foot 167. It's a read option here with the jet sweep, but he got pulled down right at the 1-yard line.
They just beat getting a delay penalty. I don't know whether they were waiting for the signals to come from the sideline. Another case where we've got the numbers being flashed on and different boards.
Torrey Dyson there to make that stop. 2nd and goal from the 1. This time Arado going to keep it, and he's in for the touchdown. Eric Arado, that is his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year and extends the lead to 13-0. Second effort once again. Henry Hansen got him right there at the line of scrimmage, but momentum able to get him in. Extra point on the way here.
Nice surge by the line. You saw Andrew Ramlow helping to lead it in. You've got Gabe Easley, Jordan Erlock at the center.
Schweigert just hooked that one in the left upright, make it a 14-0 ball game. So they come right back, march it down the field, and are up 2 scores here on their arch rival, the Menomonee Falls Indians. Let's head back down to the sideline once again, and Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, one thing I love about being on the sidelines, I get to hang out with Carol Kane, CW18. Hey, we're going to talk again at halftime. What's going on?
Well, we want to talk about All-American, which is our brand new show, which is coming up on CW18 on August 10th. And it's going to be right after the premiere of Riverdale. So it's all about high school, all about football. I mean, look at this. This is such a packed house out here, and we're having such a great time. So, yeah, All-American, Tay Digg is in it. So that's a little eye candy for the gals, but once again, it's got the sports thing for the guys. So All-American coming up on 10/10.
Hey, I watched replay and I watched the piece you guys showed last week. I'm really interested in that show. It's like you said, it's exactly guys like me are looking for. And we'll talk again at halftime.
Right, and there's going to be a really nice clip coming up at halftime. You're not going to want to miss it.
Boys, back to you.
Mike, thank you. Carol, welcome again here to Stangrove Field. All season, we'll have the opportunity to talk with our sponsors, coaches, and other guests down on the sidelines. Our sideline reports brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. On the return, Coleman breaks the tackle. Coleman still on his feet. Out across the 40, near the 45-yard line. Robert Zollicoffer able to make the tackle. A good return here for the Indians sets them up in pretty good shape. They need to get something going here, Terry, down 2 scores.
Right, and Coleman gave him good field position there. First team all-conference player a year ago, and you can see that he's got excellent speed.
This time they'll send Tamir Thomas, the running back, as the wideout. Redding will line up in a slot here near side. McLean going to throw to Redding. High, makes the catch. To keep his balance, pick up a couple before he's finally chased down. Zollicoffer was there, who just made the stop on special teams, steps up here defensively.
Yeah, Quentin is only 5'6", so that ball was a little high. That kind of broke up the timing of that play. Has a younger brother who's suited up tonight, a freshman who may see some time.
Pickup of 1, 2nd down 9 from the 43. McLean going to keep it up the middle with some room. Quarterback McLean inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 29-yard run. Lucas Finnessy got him down.
Nate has been noted more this year for his passing, but he made an excellent choice that time. Tucked that ball, shot right up the middle. Followed Brandon Niles, their center. Honorable mention all conference.
Now officials will stop play here with a timeout. That'll give you, Mike, a chance to tell us what's all happening.
Boys, listening to the offensive coordinator, offensive line coach, Sussex Hamilton talking to the offensive line. I'm telling you, they all feel the same way. They're wearing down that front 5, front 7 of Menomonee Falls. Feel like they can run the ball each and every time they get it, guys. You can see a heavy dose of these running backs and that quarterback at Sussex Hamilton.
Thank you, Mike. 14-0. Hamilton on top of Menomonee Falls. Back with more after this on My 24. Sussex Hamilton Chargers on top of the Menomonee Falls Indians 14-0. Rivalry game here for Eastern Waukesha County, the Greater Metro Conference. Well, when a star high school football player from South Central is recruited to play for Beverly Hills High School, 2 separate worlds collide. It's All-American starting October 10th on Milwaukee's CW18. Nice run by McLean to set them up here, 29-yard scamper.
Right, and Falls is in desperate need of getting on the board, I think, to, more than anything, to restore their confidence in offense.
Be a direct snap. McLean trying to run out of the backfield, not fooled, was Robert Zollicoffer. That's his 3rd tackle here in the last 5 minutes here for the Charger defense.
Zollicoffer, one of those 3 juniors in that front line for Sussex. Chris Botsford, D coordinator, has to be pleased.
Falls stepping it up here. This time they'll try the reverse here. Redding can't get the edge. Nice job defensively by Grant Reek, the outside linebacker, to string that one out, force him back to the outside, and make the stop. It'll be a loss back at the 31-yard line.
Proper word got used out there. He strung that out. Good speed working from the inside out to make that tackle.
Nice job defensively there. So now it's a 3rd and 12 for Menomonee Falls. 4:25 to play in the half. McLean with time. In and out of that receiver hand, incomplete. Evan Reddig, that's the freshman. His first play in there, had a chance right there.
Quentin's younger brother. You know, one of the things that we've been waiting to see is just when might Julius Davis make an appearance? And I'm sure that's one of the things Coach Lutz, you know, it's risk-reward kind of decision. So they're kind of biding their time.
Well, it'll be 4th and 12. Nate McLean. He'll send Thomas and Redding to the right side. Going for it all. Jump ball, and it's intercepted in the end zone. Once again, it's Lucas Finnessy, his second pick tonight. Intercepted into the end zone, so the touchback here for the Chargers will move it back out to the 20-yard line.
Well, a two-way player, and Lucas had a size advantage there over the Menomonee Falls receiver. Went up, took it right off of his hands.
Took it away from Redding, so the Chargers will take over on downs. This week on Faith in the Zone, former Major League pitcher Brian Holman will join Mike McGivern and Pastor Ken Keltner to discuss his faith and how it has affected his life professionally and personally. That's Faith in the Zone. That's this Sunday at 8 a.m. and again at 8 p.m. only on Sports Radio 105.7 FM, The Fan. 1st and 10 Chargers from their own 20-yard line. And this will be, I believe, Storbakken. Zach Storbakken, who also sees some time at quarterback. Brought down on the play by defensive end Kalen Johnson. Kalen Jackson, 5'5", 231, sophomore.
Low center of gravity, tough to get a block on him.
Pickup of 1, 2nd down 9 at the 21 for the Chargers.
One of the things we haven't seen Hamilton do is throw to their tight end, Will Enneking, excellent receiver.
Handed around on the end around here and read nicely by the Falls defense. Brett Borum saw that one all the way. The inside linebacker able to make the stop.
Now their leading tackler on the season,
55.
Eric Rutch, you know, said he's got a couple of guys that he looks to. Borum doing such a nice job. Also has Dominic Coleman and Josh Jafuda, kind of the heart of this defensive group.
Loss of 1, 3rd and 10 here for the Chargers. Rado's going to throw it. Far side, nice catch made near the 1st down marker. Going out for that one, Matt Masliski. Maury Bamba there to make the stop. We get one more look here. Wow, that's going to be close.
That's one of the things that's tough about playing Sussex. They have that split end all the time. They don't throw to him that often. And all of a sudden he breaks in on that slant, or he goes slant and go. So you have to be ready. And they just came up a bit short.
Linebackers in secondary keep looking in for that counter play. All of a sudden, there comes the man off the line of scrimmage behind the linebackers. They'll go for it here on 4th down from their own 29-yard line. It will be a fake. Penalty marker down, 2. I think we may have motion here. Yep, 2 men in motion. The punter, in this case, Zach Storbakken, was backing up. Yep, that's exactly what our referee is explaining to John D'Amato. Otherwise, that would have been a perfectly executed fake punt.
Legal shift here.
Legal shift, 2 men in motion. So takes him out of the 4th and 1, makes it a 4th and 6. Look for them to kick this one away.
Yeah, one of the things Sussex is a quick tempo team to try to get down the field. You know, they don't throw the ball all over.
Storbakken. Get this one away. Coleman will let this one bounce at the 40. Takes a Charger roll inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Flips the field here with 1:35 to go. And the homestanding Hamilton Chargers on top 14-0.
You know, Falls has to see what the psyche is of their quarterback. You know, you've had one picked off, early return for a touchdown, yet another one picked off in the end zone. How much do they trust Nate McLean at this point, and where is he mentally?
Our Salvation Army Doing the Most Good feature highlights Amy Burke, Media Relations Director for the Salvation Army of Wisconsin. She would like to remind you all that you can help in doing the most good for the Salvation Army by donating. Take advantage of two opportunities. We have drop-off non-perishable food items in the Salvation Army barrel here at any of our Thursday night game locations, or you can text the word TNL to 41444 and it will take you to the online donation page.
14 ball carrier Nate McLean.
McLean, the quarterback, not much there, out to the 21-yard line. Preston Olson, the junior defensive tackle, there on the stop.
And I wonder if, you know, Falls has said, we're going to be conservative. Let's get out of this first half, try to establish what we might be able to do to start getting our offense clicking.
Still no Julius Davis. We have not seen him out there yet. Showing blitz, McLean gets it away to Redding. Redding across the 25 and whipped out of bounds just shy of the 30-yard line. Connor Smith there to make the stop.
At 5'6", 131, you know, Quinton's matchup against Sussex, you know, it's not something that's in their favor.
There's head coach Dan Lutz, Menomonee Falls head coach, working the sideline. So 3rd and 5 here for the Indians with under a minute to go in this first half. They come back looking for Redding. He went outside. The pass was inside.
Probably something Bobby Regent Smith, the offensive coordinator, didn't want to see happen. They've now stopped the clock.
Yep.
Going to turn the ball back to Sussex.
I was surprised they went with the pass play myself. Maybe a little draw up the middle or something to at least force D'Amato to stop the clock and burn a timeout.
Once again, when you've been struggling offensively, you start trying to find anything that can give you that spark.
So with the clock stopped, Falls will have to punt this one away. Billy Howard does the punting. They have a freshman that they've called up to do the place kicking tonight for the Indians, Nolan Klug. Rush is coming, just got that one away. End over end kick that will head out of bounds at midfield. Mark it out at the Charger 49-yard line. So just a 31-yard punt.
One of those things that Sussex has in mind is their place kicker, Andrew Schweiger. We see has a strong leg. They'd love to get down and at least put 3 on the board before the half.
Officially spotted at the 48. They'll have 47 seconds and 2 timeouts to work with here, leading 14-0.
See if this might be a time when you try to sneak your tight end out. He's lined up as a tight end this time, not covered by the split end at the top of the screen.
Yeah, that's Misliski, the split end, along with Troutman out there on the left side. They'll go to the inside pass to Troutman. He's the slot receiver there, and a little bubble screen. Colin Heckman tracked him down, but a nice gain out near the 45 of the Indians. Short of the first down, a gain of 6, 2nd and 4. Corrado gonna throw. There's a man out there, makes the catch on the sideline near the 25-yard line. There's your tight end, Coach.
Will Enneking, they say he is a possession receiver, but he got himself downfield that time.
Wearing the C as a captain, the 6'3", 237 senior makes a nice catch, got himself out of bounds at the 23-yard line, stopping the clock with 13 seconds to play.
Getting a lot of looks from Ivy League schools. A young man with a 4.0 GPA and a 34 ACT. You can see why they'd love to have him out east.
.22-yard pickup on that pass play. 13 seconds left. Arado again going to the air under pressure. Arado got to get rid of it. Back of the end zone. And it was intended for Finney. Couldn't get a hand on it with 4 seconds left. Danger there of running out of time on that play.
Right.
Now they're going to bring the field goal unit on. So we're going to get a look at this youngster's leg, Andrew Schweigert. There was a flag on the play.
72.
An eligible receiver downfield, I believe, is the call. So lineman got down on that scramble. Of course, if Menomonee falls, you accept the penalty here.
Ineligible receiver downfield, red. 3rd down.
Second down and 15.
About a 44, 45-yard kick.
It is going to be a 44-yard kick, and Hamilton has to take a timeout here. They didn't have enough players out on special teams. Second timeout used by the Chargers here. Comes with 4 seconds to play here in the half. Student section, full throat here tonight.
Oh,
great place to play here.
Oh, the atmosphere here is always fantastic, and we've got Sussex Hamilton. They're having a blackout, whiteout over on the other side coming from Falls. They're probably happy it's a warmer evening so that the body paint is not finding them freezing
How
to
do you
death.
get out of the house with that? That's what I want to know.
Well, around here,
Mike,
some of the parents might even help get them that way.
That's right.
They love football. That's
Mike
great.
McGivern, what do you have for us?
Hey guys, in that timeout, Coach D'Amato said, boys, just take a breath. Let's just get a good snap, a hold. Said to the kicker, you got plenty of leg. Put this thing through and let's get into halftime. Man, I like Coach D'Amato, real calm right now.
This will be a 44-yarder off the left hash mark. Jordan Ehrlich on the snap, Arado on the hold. Schweigert, plenty of leg. And that one is down the middle. Awesome field goal that time by Schweigert, 44-yard. As time expires.
Have to see if Schweiger, it's okay. He kind of slipped.
He got all of that one and then some. 44-yard field goal to end this first half for the Chargers. And so they'll take a 17-0 lead into halftime. Our Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights presented by U.S. Cellular. Welcome back to our halftime report here on the Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights presented by U.S. Cellular. Andrew Schweigert with the 44-yard field goal as time expired here in the second quarter. The Chargers have bolted out to a 17-0 lead. Tonight we'd like to highlight some special student athletes. We're proud to present this week's Scholar Athlete of the Week nominees. This week's nominee from Menomonee Falls High School is Kaylee Wunschel. Kaylee competes in cross country and soccer, carries a 3.96 GPA. She's a member of the National Honor Society and National Business Honor Society. Kaylee is a 3-time state qualifier in cross country and was selected all-conference the past 3 seasons. She is the 2018 Journal Sentinel Runner of the Year nominee. She's a team captain and second team selection all-conference in soccer. She works 3 jobs in the community and is considered an outstanding role model for other athletes. And this week's nominee from Sussex Hamilton is James Hayden. James competes in football and baseball and carries a 3.8 GPA. He's a member of the National Honor Society and made high honor roll, as well as math and Spanish club honor rolls. James volunteers his time around the community, including Senior Citizen Spring Cleanup, Lions Days, and the Sussex Food Pantry. James is highly regarded by Coach D'Amato as a great young man. Congratulations to this week's Thursday Night Lights Scholar Athlete nominees. That's what it's all about. 17-0. Chargers on top of the Indians. We head to the sidelines, Mr. John Pearson.
All right, thanks, guys. And, of course, we're always so excited to have great sponsors involved with it. getting this paid for. It takes a lot, and the commitment to the community it takes. And Heiser Automotive Group, of course, stands out from them all. We're 6 games in, and they've done an amazing job, but they've also been around for over 100 years in serving our community. 3 generations of Heiser have been a part of it. You can still find family members there when you walk into any location, and you always find honesty, integrity, transparency. Absolutely an amazing organization, and it is family-owned for Toyotas, Chevys, Fords, Lincolns, and Cadillacs. Visit any one of their locations, and tonight we have a car out here we want to spotlight for you. Yes, indeed. The Toyota Avalon Hybrid Limited is out here, a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder that is mated to an electric motor and 200 horsepower gas mileage. This is amazing. 40 city, 39 on the highway. The sale price, $33,498. Go to any of the Heiser locations to enjoy basically any kind of car you want. And guys, they've been supporting our community for so long and been a part of so many things. The first car they actually sold was actually a horse. So guys, I mean, they are the people to visit.
All right, John. Yep. Heiser Automotive Group, we thank them for their title sponsorship. Today's your day. Tonight, it's Sussex Hamilton night. Chargers lead the Indians by a score of 17-0. Back with more halftime after this. Welcome back to our halftime report here on the Heiser Automotive Group's Thursday Night Lights, presented by U.S. Cellular. All 3 phases of the game working for Sussex Hamilton tonight. Offensive score, a defensive score, and a 44-yard field goal from special teams. They lead it 17-0. Once again to the sideline we go. The handsome Mike McGivern and the lovely Carol Kane.
Yeah, I appreciate that, John. Before we get into CW18, she is a former saxophone player, Beloit Turner, marching band. You remember those days?
I had so much fun being in the marching band. It was really, and now that they're right here, it's so fun to see them. So yes.
The fact that you tried to tackle a saxophone player and take that sax, that's awesome. Hey, what's going on? October 10th, big night for you guys.
You know what? It is a big night for us because we're looking forward to our brand new show, which is called All American, and it's all about this. It's all about high school football, and it's all about, you know, relationships and things like that. And of course, it comes right after Riverdale. The premiere of Riverdale is right before it. And so it's a whole night of football and fun and a little bit of drama, so it's going to be great. I also want you to keep in mind, too, that on October 14th, it's all about the girls. We've got the reboot of Charmed, and we've got, of course, Supergirl. So, and I think, you know, Halloween's coming up. I think I might be a zombie Supergirl. What do you think?
As a sax player from Beloit Turner, I think she should do that. Carol, it's so good to see you. Thank you very much.
You bet.
Boys, back to you.
Thank you so much. Time now to take a look at the games to watch, brought to you by the Big 920, WOKY. Some of the bigger games going on across southeast Wisconsin include the Greater Metro Conference Clash, Brooks Central taking on Marquette.
2 5-0 teams.
Over in the North Shore Conference, a big one there, Port Washington versus Slinger. Port, kind of the Pirates, a surprise in that division, in that conference.
They knocked off Hartford last week, so they're fighting for second place. Homestead currently leading in the North Shore.
And in the Southeast Conference, bounce back game here for Oak Creek, but they've got conference undefeated Kenosha Indian Trail.
Right, and Oak Creek had that loss last week to Franklin. They need to get back on the winning track. Indian Trail wants to keep the train rolling.
We will see Indian Trail later on in the season. And of course, the Big 920 game of the week is Arrowhead versus Oconomowoc. Big 920 high school game of the week. That is 9:20 a.m. or on the iHeartRadio app, keyword the Big 920. 17-0 in favor of Sussex Hamilton on top of Menomonee Falls. Once again to Mike.
So we forgot something. You know, AJ, I don't like AJ. They're yelling in my ear, clip, and I thought they were yelling, cute.
No, you're going to get me fired. It's All American, and we want you guys to check out this brand new clip. Take a look.
Well, you better not disrespect me. You came here to play football. Am I right or am I wrong?
That place just isn't who I am.
And this is? No, you decide who you want to be.
Pick up your damn helmet.
Watch your back, Beverly.
I asked you to give yourself a chance at something more. This is the only way to do it.
What drives me to play is my anger. I fight for every damn step I take.
If you can make something of yourself, maybe someday
I can too.
Welcome to Beverly Hills, Spencer.
You say you play because you're angry. I'm asking you to play for something bigger now.
Hey, that looks fun. That's going to be fun.
It's going to be a great show. So make sure that you got it scheduled October 10th, right after Riverdale All-American.
And then the girls can get ready for what?
Well, we've got the reboot of Charmed, and we also got Supergirl.
I might be watching that. You don't know. Probably not, but maybe.
I think you should.
Yeah, I do too. Boys, back to you.
Once again, Mike and Carol, thank you so much. Before we head out to break, let's take a look and a listen to the Charger Marching Band. Welcome back to our halftime report here on the Heiser Automotive Group's Thursday Night Lights, presented by U.S. Cellular. We're at Sussex Hamilton High School, Eastern Waukesha County tonight. A rivalry game between the Hamilton Chargers and the Menomonee Falls Indians. Chargers lead it by a score of 17-0. Time now for a United States Army interview, and for that, we head down to John Pearson.
All right, thanks, guys. And yes, this is quite the battle tonight with Hamilton on top, but Sergeant First Class Josh Livingston joins me here, and these are your schools. You know a lot about these schools. You know the hallways and everything here. When you're out with these guys, what do they want to know most from you, and what do you try and get across?
John, they really want to know some of the craziest questions I've got is, can I have a family? And, that's surprising to me, but it's, they want a little bit more information. They want to know what I do on a day-to-day basis, and, it's great to be able to share with them that I'm doing another profession, just like a lot of their moms and dads out there. I wear a different uniform, but it's a profession. I get to have my family. I go home at the end of the day, and I take a lot of pride in what I'm doing.
And the commitment it takes, sometimes, I think from somebody from the outside, I think it's overwhelming. But once they get to know how rewarding it feels to you, and I think it opens their eyes a lot.
I think so. It can be an extremely rewarding career, not only from the benefits that it can help you with professionally and personally, but also just the benefit that you know that you're doing something bigger than yourself.
And right behind us, they're actually auditioning for the Army Band.
Well, we're always looking for elite musical professionals for our Army Band, and they get a lot of unique opportunities as a music performance. So
that's music to my ears, guys.
John, thank you so much. Our United States Army interview, Joshua Livingston, we thank you as well. Here's the highlights from the first half, and it got going early on fourth down.
Lucas Fitisi just stepped right in, took it to the house.
60 yards. That was on a fourth down play by Menomonee Falls on their opening drive. That made it 7-0, 4 minutes in. Hamilton added to that lead in the second quarter. Eric Arado.
Yeah, they jumped all over the dive. He just went one hole wide, stepped right into the end zone.
That opened up a 14-0 lead. And Menomonee Falls going for it on fourth down late. And there's that guy, Fitisi, again.
Two-way player, returning kicks as well. He's doing it all.
His second interception of the game. And then late here in the second quarter, 44-yard field goal by Schweigert as time expired. That's our scoring. And that is our highlights tonight, brought to you by the United States Army, Army Strong. 17-0, Chargers on top of the Indians. Back with more. Well, let's head right down to John. I'm sorry.
All right, one of the best parts of this job is getting into these schools and seeing some of the amazing programs for people. And one that's special here at Hamilton High School, it's been going on for a while and it's changed a lot of lives. It is Exceptional Inc. or X Inc. And Maddie here is a part of this. And let me just ask you first about what's the best part of X Inc. and how excited are you about all of this?
Well, I love to be seen on task in X Inc. And for X Inc., we make cards for a very long time, from last year.
And she's one of the best at it. And Jenny Zuber-Beeler, I practiced so many times, is one of the teachers involved with this. Talk a little bit about exactly what it is as you make the greeting cards and turn it into a business that actually serves this school, serves these kids.
It is correct. At Exceptional Inc., it's a vocational card company, so our focus is in working on those employment skills for eventual inclusion in the community. So we're talking about the accountability and the productivity that our students gain through the program.
And that you make it as much like a job as possible so then they're ready for a job in a couple of years.
Yeah, that's correct as well. We work on communication skills, so that self-advocacy piece, as well as the communication between coworkers and then with supervisors as well.
And you guys estimated you sold about 3,000 cards last year. Contacting the high school is probably the best way to maybe find out a little more about the program.
Yes, you can either speak to Missy Newhart or Jen Knapp through their high school email accounts.
All right, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Maddie. And you don't even need to learn how to spell Zuberbeeler to do it, guys.
John, thank you so much. A great program out here at Hamilton High School. So glad we could feature that here tonight.
You know, the high school community is a key word. You know, you bring together kids with different backgrounds. They learn to function as one. And I think it shines a spotlight across the breadth of the whole student body.
Great things going on here at Sussex Hamilton High School. Great things for their football team as well. They're up 17-0 on Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights on My 24. Welcome back to our Heiser Automotive Group's Thursday Night Lights at Sussex Hamilton High School tonight, 17-0. Chargers on top of Menomonee Falls. Big rivalry game here. Big game for both teams trying to make the playoffs right now in the Greater Metro.
Right, and we're sitting at 3-2 in the conference for Falls, so they need one more win. That might be coloring why they are not using Julius Davis. They want to wait for that.
Numbers for this first half, as we have them up here,
tell the story.
It does tell the story, doesn't it?
Yeah, when you look at it and you're trying to see what Falls has been able to muster, only 98 total yards of offense, makes it difficult. It's not as though their defense is playing poorly.
For Sussex Hamilton, Arado tonight 6 of 7 for 91 yards and a rushing touchdown.
He's done extremely well. Also has Mr. Finnessy, who's been able to really provide kind of the spark that they needed.
He got things going tonight with a 60-yard interception return. He's got 2 picks tonight so far.
Excellent jobs.
Well, now let's take a look at some of last week's Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals. Great moments from across the country.
Gunning, downfield, going long, and a pass going to be tipped and intercepted with the foot on the sideline. They don't say so. Coming back the other way is Riley Weiss. Weiss to midfield. Weiss to the 35. Weiss going to take it the distance for the touchdown.
Comes on for Washington off the sideline. Linnell under pressure. He goes down to the backfield.
Hall takes a snap, running the option, cuts it back, and he's hit. Ball's down. That's it. Skyridge.
Come out throwing. Nice hurdle with some running room. A stiff arm to midfield. Bryce Hurdle. Hurdle inside the 30. Brought down, no. Breaks through the tackle, gets to the pylon. Did he get in? He did.
So Hayes just kind of maybe got in a little bit of hurry and threw that out there a little too much, but great catch by Brumbaugh there on the replay.
Yeah, because nobody near him. Obviously, the hardest thing was to catch it, and it was not an easy catch. You won't get too many better than that in high school football.
Again, Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals across the country. Terry, we finally made it.
We saw Bryce Hurdle from Lake Country Lutheran make that marvelous dash down the sidelines last week.
All right, as we reevaluate here for the second half, what does Falls have to do to get back in this ballgame?
Quite simply, they have to show something on offense. They seem to be having some success initially with Tamir Thomas and his running. And I think they have to see a way of getting him into the game a little bit more.
And for Sussex Hamilton, they've got all 3 phases working. They've got a defensive score, offensive, and special teams tonight.
Right, but I think they too would like to still develop a little bit more of that offensive identity.
Chargers will get the ball to start this second half. Finnessy and Mullemans standing deep. This will be Finney. Little stutter step, then bolts up the middle. That's Arado, the quarterback, who actually took that one out to midfield. Eric Arado on the kick return for Sussex Hamilton. Dominic Coleman got him down at midfield, so a short field once again for the Chargers to start this third quarter.
Yeah, we weren't expecting to see Arado back there returning kicks. If it, but apparently they decided there was a reason they wanted to get him into that position.
He will lead the offense out. So it'll be 1st and 10 at midfield for the Chargers to begin our second half. Double back look. And it'll be Arado again with some room up the middle. Arado breaking tackles. Eric Arado for the touchdown.
Oh, we talked about wanting to get some offensive identity. That might have been it right there.
50-yard sprint that time by the quarterback, Eric Arado.
Nice faking.
Just took it right up the middle. Double fake that time, fake to the inside, fake the outside handoff, and then just bolted right up the middle for 50.
And he hesitated just the right amount of time as he tucked that ball on his hip to the inside, then took off.
Schweigert to add the extra point. Drives that one out of the neighborhood. He's got a foot. Hit that 44-yarder at the end of the second quarter. If you were with us, that would have been good from 50.
Used to be a soccer player, and his coaches told us, came to him last year, said, football's going to be my sport.
And he's starting to get some looks for his kicking ability. So a 50-yard drive on one play, 24-0 as we head down to the sideline. Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, listen to the Coach D'Amato talk. He said, hey, you guys really responded. We challenged you at halftime. It's exactly what we're talking about. Make sure that we're hitting people, we're staying on our blocks, and we're going to run this score up a little bit if we can. And he's real happy with the way they responded coming out of halftime.
Can't fault there at all. Arado, the quarterback, takes the opening kickoff to the 50-yard line, and then he calls his own number on the first play from scrimmage.
And if they can hold on and get this win, it gives them their third conference win. They need one more to become playoff eligible rather than qualified. They want.
Yeah, they played their crossover game last week against Catholic Memorial, and Menomonee Falls has their crossover game next week against Kettle Moraine.
A good Kettle Moraine team.
Schweigert drives this one through the end zone. Wow. Not going to return many of those.
We were a little worried when the field goal was kicked. Somebody came out of that limping, and it apparently wasn't Schweigert. Not with a kick like that.
Andrew Schweigert, the senior. Well, stay tuned. At the end of the game, we will highlight our player of the game, brought to you by the United States Army, Army Strong. Also, let's remind you that tonight's Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights, presented by U.S. Cellular, is available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com and click on the Thursday Night Lights link.
Okay.
So they go back to Tamir Thomas to start this drive for Menomonee Falls. Hunter Slotz, coming back from injury, able to make the tackle.
Right, he had went out against Marquette in the first quarter and has missed 2 games. So pretty sure Sussex Hamilton is very happy to see Hunter return.
We get a look at Tamir Thomas, 5'10", 165, and a junior. Had a 53-yard touchdown run a couple of weeks back against Marquette. This time it'll be the quarterback McLean on the fake, trying to go up the middle. Looked like it was Olsen along with Botsford in there on the tackle for the Chargers. Has been the story all night, 3rd and long now for the Indians.
Yeah, Olsen at 270 pounds, nice defensive lineman, flanked by Cal. Botsford, 6'1", 235, one of their captains.
Redding in the slot here, the near side. They'll go 4 receivers, try to run out of it, and they caught him in a blitz. Hunter Slotz As we just mentioned, missed a couple of games due to injury. Back tonight, makes his presence felt.
Honorable mention, all-conference last year, a young man, another one with the excellent GPA, 3.8 in this case.
So a 3-and-out punting unit on here for the Indians. Billy Howard back to punt this one away here for Menomonee Falls. Finnessy going to let that one hit the turf, and it will scoot out of bounds at the Charger 44-yard line.
44-yard line, Chargers ball, 1st and 10. Wilson,
So a 42-yard punt that time with a little bit of a roll. Once again, the Chargers set up with a short field here. Rolling away here at a 24-0 clip.
Well, not the start that Coach Lutz or offensive coordinator Bobby Regent Smith wanted to see for the second half.
Well, listen to the Wendy's Varsity Blitz Show presented by your local Pick and Save stores this Saturday morning starting at 10. Mike McGivern and Ryan McMillan. We'll be talking with John Bunyan, the head coach at Port Washington High School. He'll be in the studio Saturday from 10 to noon on Sports Radio 105.7 FM, The Fan. Try and go up the middle. Troutman that time, only his second carry tonight. And who was there? Billy Howard. He's had a heck of a ball game defensively for Menomonee Falls.
Billy Howard's been working overtime, and when you think about his future, 6'2", 196-pound sophomore.
8 tackles on the night tonight for Howard. Gain of 1, 2nd down 9. Shy of the 45-yard line. This time they'll hand it off. Bolting his way through across midfield. And it's Zach Storbakken. 6 foot, 195, a junior. He's also the backup quarterback, kind of quarterback 1 and 1A, if you will, for this Hamilton team.
Our spotter, George Papachristo, is more or less just keeping his finger pointing at Billy Howard on our sheet. Seems to be in almost every tackle.
It's an easy night for Papa when he can do that, right? He just keep tapping at the 42.
Sons told me he could handle this job.
Be a 3rd and 4 here for Hamilton. Arado trying to dive forward. Ball came out. Second fumble tonight. Did the Falls fall on it? They did indeed. That might have been Kalen Jackson came up with that loose ball. 5'5", 231-pound sophomore. That's the second turnover by Arado tonight. Both fumbles. He had one on a pitch earlier in the first half.
We'll see if this can be the spark that Falls needs to kind of get over the hump offensively.
They'll put Thomas in the backfield. Split end Redding here to the near side. They'll give it to Tamir Thomas, trying to get the edge on the right. Nothing doing. Good defensive effort that time. Finnessy able to pull him down for no gain. And again, the Charger defense able to string the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Finnessy, playing two ways plus returning kicks. You've got to admire his conditioning as well as his skills.
Gain of 1, 2nd down 9 at the 49. In the third quarter here at Sussex Hamilton High School, Chargers leading Menomonee Falls. Fake the jet sweep. They'll hand it off. Tamir Thomas again trying to work the right side, and once again the left side of that Charger defense able to string that play along. Grant Reek, the outside linebacker there, steps in to make the play.
3rd down and 10.
Right now the Chargers just quick up front, not allowing Falls to set up the blocking.
Yeah, excellent pursuit that time by Reek.
3rd and 10 facing the Indians here. Take Thomas out of the backfield, line him in a slot here to the near side along with Redding. Michael Young Split out to the far side. They'll come back near side, and it's incomplete. Looking for Young. Kind of rolling down the line of scrimmage. 4th down punting situation. Once again to Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, listen to the offensive coaches, Sussex Hamilton. They're talking about the defensive ends, Menomonee Falls, always pinching in. You're going to see their backs try to bounce it out to the outside a little bit when they get the ball back.
We'll keep an eye on it, Mike. Good observation there, as Falls will be punting this one back to the Chargers again. Finnessy has his heels planted at the 20-yard line. Get a good look at Billy Howard. No rush, gets this one away. And again, Finnessy allows that ball to hit the turf and it'll roll dead at the 13-yard line.
Ball is down at the 13-yard line.
39-yard punt that time by Howard.
Didn't see a lot of hang time, and it made it difficult. Finnessy trying to make his choice. What was he going to do with that ball?
6:29 to go here in the third. We'll see if Coach D'Amato in the offense there tries to bounce a couple of these runs to the outside. John D'Amato, the head coach and offensive coordinator, in the middle with the headsets there. Again, 4 conference wins would get them eligible for postseason play.
Yeah, this would be number 3, a key one.
Problem on the snap again. This time Arado recovers, able to throw behind the receiver, incomplete.
Arado's pass incomplete.
The ball's kind of in a pinball of late, moving around there.
Newman's was the intended target. We'll get one more look here. Again, kind of a fog and a haze starting to make its presence felt here. The grass getting a little slick out there as well. See the dew.
Humidity a little high tonight.
2nd down and 10. Try and run up the middle. Get back to the 15, maybe the 16-yard line. Lewinsky on the carry. Once again, Billy Howard, busy tonight, able to make the stop. He's going to be something here. He's just a sophomore.
Yeah, very young team. Coach Lutz says they have an excellent sophomore class.
3rd down and 7.
Well, he is the epitome of that sophomore class. He's been busy tonight, defensively leading away on tackles. 3rd and 7 from the 16. Try and get it outside. Unable to do so.
Called the ball carrier, Josh Mellon.
Mellman's with the carry. Again, Billy Howard able to pursue. Along with Jafuda, the strong safety, able to get out there.
I think what you have to be impressed with Howard, more so than anything else, is his excellent speed getting and covering. And they talk about him. He's also, as you can imagine, good athlete, very fine baseball player.
Dominic Coleman standing at midfield. He'll await the Storbakken punt. Gets off a nice punt here. Coleman will signal for and make a fair catch at the 38-yard line. 5:05 to play here in the third. It's been all Sussex Hamilton. Chargers 24, Menomonee Falls nothing. Our Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights presented by U.S. Cellular. Eric Arado with a 50-yard touchdown run to open up this third quarter, and the Chargers in front of Menomonee Falls 24-0. For all of the info on the green and gold, including special guests, players, and more, watch Locker Room. That's Tuesdays at 9 on My Place for Sports, My 24. Pass play behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty marker. Redding with the catch. Grant Reek, the outside linebacker, able to make the play. This will be a holding call against Menomonee Falls.
Kind of a combination of things. They got Hunter Slots back as one of their outside linebackers. We've been seeing Grant Reek one of the other outside linebackers, starting to get their people back, and we're seeing very, very fine pursuit coming from Sussex Hamilton.
After tonight, they take on Tosa East. Then they have Brooks Central, and then they finish the season at Germantown. Germantown, a member of the Greater Metro now with the realignment the last couple of years. This will be a 1st and 22 from the 27-yard line. McLean going to air it out, going to the far sideline looking for Tamir Thomas, and it's nearly intercepted. James Hayden was the defender back there, and it was Tamir Thomas was the intended target, turned into the defensive back there to make sure the safety didn't come down with it.
Hayden in excellent position, has that inside. Another fine student, and you can see where these young men, I was watching them watch film with Coach D'Amato, 3.8 GPA, 34 ACT. Football players have to be intelligent nowadays with these multiple offenses.
Hayden was our scholar athlete tonight too, as nominated by Sussex Hamilton. 2nd and 22 for McLean. Goes over the middle, complete to Thomas. Bounces off of Bagley. Still on his feet, circles back and brought down at the 21-yard line. Will lose a yard. Jackson Colath right there.
I think Zach Bagley got to him initially, knocked him off.
Yep.
To Thomas's credit, he kept trying to escape. You can see he's slippery.
That's a loss back to the 22-yard line. It'll be a loss of 5. Special thanks again to Dan for providing wonderful food this week for our Thursday Night Lights staff and crew. You can check them out at dandanmke.com for their complete menu and delivery options. Thanks again to Dan. It was good. Back the other way, Thomas wrapped up immediately at the 25-yard line. Connor Smith, the defender out there, able to make the play.
Connor Smith kind of takes the lead as far as GPAs. He has a 4.1. He didn't stop with just a 4.0. Put himself in with a couple A pluses apparently. He read that very well.
Chargers have been excellent on defense here tonight. Defensive play that really got things started. The 60-yard interception return that opened up our ball game tonight.
Here's Mr. Finnessy back to receive now the punt.
Howard to kick this one away. Low kick. Finnessy just going to let that one roll. And it'll roll dead at the 38-yard line. 37-yard punt with the roll. Let's head downstairs to Mike McGivern. It's hoop season just around the corner.
No, guys, when you're on the football sidelines with a Cerrone, you got to say he's the brother of Pat Cerrone. Hey, he is the head basketball coach here at Sussex Hamilton. You guys did a great fundraiser for your basketball team. Thanks for inviting us.
Well, thanks for promoting it for us. We did had a just smoking barbecue in and trying to raise some money for our trip to Florida this winter, and it was a great success. And I want to thank everybody that came and supported us, and thank you for promoting it for us.
Andy, I got to tell you, last year there was a really great magical run for your basketball team, and I've been a part of those. I hung with you guys. I told your team I picked against you a couple times. I apologize for that, but how fun was that?
It was unbelievable. I mean, just how things kind of all played out for us, and to do it with such a great group of kids, and to beat some really good teams along the way, just it was unbelievable. I mean, disappointing we lost at the game at the Kohl Center, but for us to be in a game like that, it's going to be a memory for our kids for the rest of their lives. So we're hopefully, we don't want to, now we know we're the hunted down, and yes. And our kids really worked hard this summer, didn't leave any stones unturned. I mean, they worked hard. They know, and they understand what's at stake this year. So
it's Andy Cerrone. He's not only one of the really good guys in this area, but he's a really good basketball coach. Boys, back to you.
Mike, thank you very much. Indeed, a great run by the Chargers last year all the way to the Kohl Center. Arado coming back near side. Pass is caught. Lucas Finnessy on offense here, making a nice reception. Connor Cedeno able to make that stop.
One of the things that's been impressive is watching Arado's fakes, how he carries out the fakes. Helped him on his run. You can see how it's setting up some of those pass plays, a little waggle by the quarterback after he's done that initial fake.
Pickup of 6 on the play brings up 3rd and 2 here for the Chargers. All at their own 45-yard line. Newman's on the jet sweep. Has some running room. Breaks off a tackle. Down to the 39-yard line. Billy Howard on the chase all the way downfield to make the tackle.
Saw Mulemans dip it in and then suddenly cut to the outside and accelerate.
Spotted at the 39.
1st and 10 for the Chargers from the Indian 39.
$17-yard run on that play. We approach a minute to go here in our 3rd quarter. First downs this quarter brought to you by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Arado on the play fake with some time. Comes back near side, incomplete. Mulemans was the intended target. He was open. Ball was thrown a little bit low, but Mulemans will tell you he should have had it.
Brett Borum came on a blitz inside linebacker for Falls, and I'm sure Eric saw him coming, probably got up, put that pass off just a bit.
Sets up 2nd and 10 at the 39 with 46 seconds to go here in the quarter. Again, the 50-yard touchdown run by Arado here in the 3rd. Only score here in this 2nd half. He's got Storbach in the backfield. Back judge already counting here. They just got this play away. And Arado rolls left, throwing right. Has a man over the middle. It is caught down to the 10-yard line. James Troutman on the reception. Got a step on Coleman, who finally tracked him down. One more look here at Arado. That's something that D'Amato's been looking for here the last couple of weeks.
Try to get that passing game going so that typical Charger running game can get really into full mode.
This will be a 1st and goal. Gruber Law Offices 1st down once again here for Hamilton. Going to throw the fade back of the end zone. Man there, in and out of his hands, and it's picked off in the back of the end zone. And he'll run it out. Down the far sideline with it, that's Maury Bamba. Maury Bamba still inbounds. No, he stepped out back there. They're going to rule him out near midfield as he returns it all the way back to the Hamilton 20-yard line, but I think the back judge trailing the play had him stepping out just at the 45. One more look here, trying to throw the fade to the back of the end zone. They were looking for the tight end. Enneking was a bit overthrown, and Bamba back there, 6 foot 150, the senior, right there, stepped out of bounds at the 44-yard line. There was also a penalty flag back near the 20-yard line.
That's one of those things. Initially, as the coach, you say, don't come out of the end zone. Just go down, take a knee. And then as he gets further the field, way to go, keep running.
Unfortunately, this is all going to come back. This one will go against the Indians.
After the interception, block in the back, White, 1st down.
They'll retain possession, but instead of from the 46 of the Chargers, they'll step it off from the spot of that block in the back, and it'll move the football back inside the 10-yard line. Well, it's 3 turnovers tonight. Falls has not been able to take advantage of here tonight.
Enneking was trying to make a real nice catch for Sussex, but it bounced off his hand, and Bamba took that ball and started to head upfield.
First down, they'll run it up the middle and run out the quarter here with that run over the right side. 24-0, Sussex Hamilton Chargers on top of the Menomonee Falls Indians. It's our Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights presented by U.S. Cellular on My 24. Chargers in front 24-0 as we begin the fourth quarter with Terry Kelly, John Weiser up in the booth, Mike McGivern and John Pearson on the sideline once again tonight. 2nd down and 10. McLean going to air it out, man wide open. Redding makes the catch at the 35, has some running room across the 40, and taken down from behind at the 44-yard line. 34-yard completion to Redding. Connor Smith with the tackle.
Falls has continued to play very hard. You can see that they have some talent, many young players. They just have not been able to generate offense that, allows them to run some time off the clock.
That time McLean got plenty of time in a clean lane, and Redding wide open. Simply lined up on the far side in the slot and just took it straight down the field. Tamir Thomas, nowhere to go. Wrapped up back near the 36-yard line. Grant Reek along with Tyler Walls there defensively for the tackle for loss.
Yeah, we've called Reek's number quite a bit. He's playing off that block, gets help from inside. Number 9, Tyler Walls gets himself out there to get in on the tackle.
Be a loss back to the 37-yard line, so it'll bring up 2nd and 17. Redding will line up here to the near side. Thomas in a slot far side along with Tyler Valoria. Be a run. Plenty of room. Luke Nowak with a nice run down to the 30-yard line of the Chargers. Connor Smith able to chase him down.
Another one of those sophomores out of that class that we've been talking about for Menomonee Falls.
33-yard pickup. They'll mark him down at the 34. Nice run that time. Luke Nowak, another sophomore, 5'10", 155, getting some playing time tonight. First downs brought to you by Bryant and Stratton College here in the fourth quarter. Call his number again, Nowak. Not much there over the left side. Walls was in on that stop.
Down by number 9, Tyler Walls.
Yeah, give this team credit for playing hard all the way through here. I'm sure they'd love to at least break the shutout here in this fourth quarter.
You've lost the services of one of the outstanding backs in the entire state, and sometimes it takes you a while to recover mentally from that loss.
Yeah, Julius Davis, thought we might see him tonight. No go. That was Thomas once again. Grant Reek, who's had a pretty good night at that linebacker spot for the Chargers tonight with another tackle.
The Chargers, got off to a nice start. They had victory over Hale, a victory over Tosa West. Then they lost a heartbreaker to Marquette. Last seconds, Marquette hit a field goal to win. They lost 3-0 to Brookfield East. And then they ran into a very strong Catholic Memorial team a week ago.
There's Julius Davis, number 32 in your picture there. McLean hit as he's thrown. Ball loose in the air, and it's picked off. Tyler Walls with that interception for the Chargers. It's their 3rd pick tonight by that Charger defense. So change of possession here. Chargers will take over at their own 33-yard line. And once again, Mike McGivern.
So guys, here with the athletic director, one of my best friends, he loves me, Mike Hodge from Sussex Hamilton. Look, this community and this facility are second to none. I really believe that.
Yeah, we value athletics and activities here, and this is one of our focal points here, our indoor facility. The fields are, our grounds crew does a tremendous job. Our kids take a lot of pride in it. Everybody kind of has their home. We're kind of spoiled. Every program has their own little field, their own home base, and it's a good situation.
I'll tell you what, not only the parents, but the people outside letting guys in, all the kids been really kind to us, saying thanks for having us here. Hey, thanks for coming, showcasing us here at Sussex Hamilton. And we don't get that everywhere we go. It's just a good group of kids and families.
It's a good community. They support everything we do here. Just passed a referendum. They believe in the academic structure. They believe in the athletics and activity programs. Their kids are kids. It's a learning situation. Every day could be a little bit different, but for the most part, they're real good kids. Both communities. When these communities come together, for the administration teams at both sides, it's pins and needles. For the families and the kids, this was the highlight of the year. And so far tonight, the communities both have come out, and it's been a great night.
So I'm more of a fan of his than he is of mine, but it's good to see you.
Always, Mike. Always.
Thank you. Back to you, boys.
Mike, guys, thank you so much for having us out here tonight. All season long, we have the opportunity to talk with our sponsors, coaches, and other guests down on the sidelines, finding out what's going on in the schools and communities we visit. Our sideline reports this season brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Personal foul penalty here on the Chargers. Move them back. Ullman's on the carry, going to be swarmed under inside the 20-yard line. Maury Bamba, who had that interception earlier for the Falls, credited with the tackle.
Excellent example of gang tackling there. You saw the Falls defenders rally to that ball. As we said, they've been playing hard this whole game. They're not that far away. Many sophomores are getting a lot of time.
So bring up a 3rd and 23 for the Chargers. More importantly, they're looking to keep this clock rolling here. 7:50 to play. And they'll take a timeout, stopping play here with 7:48 remaining. We talked about Hamilton and their start. Falls got off to a pretty good start as well. They defeated Germantown, Hale, and Wauwatosa West. And they got steamrolled by Marquette and Brook East, the last 2 losses, 35-6 last week to Brookfield East.
All of a sudden, that loss of Julius Davis, you've got things really going. You've got him gaining over 500 yards in your first 2 games. And suddenly you remove the linchpin for their offense. It takes a while to recover, especially with a young team.
Well, we have our watershed moment of the ball game. It occurred way back in the first quarter. It's our 60-yard pick 6 here by Lucas Finnessy on the opening drive tonight. Falls faced with a 4th and short. They throw the pick. Brought to you by Sweetwater. Remember, you can be a game changer in your watershed. When it rains, stormwater washes litter, yard waste, and chemicals and other debris into our rivers and lakes. Visit respectourwaters.org to learn what you can do to prevent water pollution. 7:48 to play following the timeout. Devin Lewinsky with the carry, pushing the pile forward out to the 25-yard line. Bring up 4th down here for the Chargers.
27, the ball carrier.
Should see Storbakken out there to punt this one away.
You see Finnessy in his present position playing a corner. More than likely, as the colleges look at him, they're going to project him to be a backer. His speed, his size.
6'3", 215. He's a junior, so he'll have one more year. And we're getting a look at a lot of youngsters on both of these teams. This program here, both at Hamilton and at Falls, will be something else next year. Storbakken's punt, going to be fair caught at the 39-yard line by Dominic Coleman. That's where the Indians will take over at their own 39 with 6:47 to go. And they have on the rest of their schedule now, they go out of conference at home next week, the crossover game with Kettle Moraine from the Classic 8, and then they wrap up conference play home against Tosa East and at Brook Central on October 12th.
A couple years ago, Falls kind of surprised Brookfield Central in that final game, but I'm sure what they want to focus on right now is getting ready to kind of get their offense on track.
We saw it in fits and starts here tonight. McLean with the quarterback keep. McLean across the 45 out to the 46-yard line. Jackson Colath able to make the stop defensively for the Chargers. Colath is senior. He's coming back from injury too. He's starting to get healthy.
Right, and he is another one of those guys that sometimes goes both ways, but they were going to make sure they're just going to play him on defense, not expose him to some hits as an offensive player.
And a shot of John D'Amato, the head coach here at Sussex Hamilton.
The dean of Greater Metro coaches at
Believe it or
15th
not.
year.
Yeah, believe it or not. Nice run across midfield once again. Luke Nowak, the sophomore, a strong carry and a nice run earlier in the quarter. That'll be enough for a Bryant and Stratton College Athletics first down here for the Menomonee Falls Indians.
And the Falls coaches couldn't say enough about their center, Brandon Niles. Just an honorable mention, all-conference player, a captain, hard worker, and he's kind of trying to pull this group together up front.
Quarterback keep, McLean gets into the second level that time before Zolikoffer brought him down. Should be enough for a first down, 11-yard run that time by Nate McLean, the sophomore, 6'2", 177.
You can imagine how much more effective that play is when you're faking that handoff to Julius Davis and everybody's jumping on him.
From the 37, this will be 1st and 10, Menomonee Falls. Again, Nowak slides his way forward over the left side, picks up a couple. Preston Olson in on the stop. Gain of about 1. Bring up a 2nd and 9 upcoming here for the Indians.
Olson, a 270-pound junior, another young man will be returning next year. Defensive coordinator Chris Botsford has to enjoy looking at that front four and seeing that 3 of those guys are going to be back.
2nd and 9 from the 36. Again, Nowak is the back. Off to the right of the quarterback, McLean. Fired ball tipped at the line of scrimmage and knocked down, incomplete.
Pass is incomplete. Third down.
Botsford, that would have been Cal Botsford who may have got a hand on that one at the line of scrimmage and knocked that down. Stops play here with 4:48 to go. Makes it a 3rd and 9 for Menomonee Falls.
And I'm sure this is going to be 4-down territory for Falls. They have nothing to lose, so they might as well try to get themselves on the scoreboard, feel better about what they're capable of doing.
Redding in single coverage here to the near side. Valoria, along with Thomas, who's lined up in a slot, now in motion, coming to the near side. Catch him on a blitz, and they throw it behind the receiver. That's 82. Evan Redding, the freshman, thrown his way a couple of times tonight when he's been on the field, unable to connect.
They took the strong safety, Jackson Kolak, blitzed him that time, put all kinds of pressure on McLean.
So 4th and 9 facing the Indians here late in this 4th quarter. Again, showing blitz. McLean trying to go over the middle, incomplete. Looking for Michael Young. Jackson Kolath again able to break that one up for the Chargers, who will take over. We'll take our break. 24-0 Hamilton on top of Menomonee Falls here on My 24. Chargers on top of the Indians, 24-0 here in our Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights. Starting Tuesday, you can see how the officers at District 21 catch criminals on the mean streets of Chicago. Watch Chicago PD Tuesday nights at 7 on My 24. Fumble on the play, but it looks like the Chargers got the ball back.
The play was recovered by number 7, Zach Storbakken.
Storbakken able to cover that one up. And getting a little slick out there. You can see the dew forming on the grass out there. Only grass field, I believe, in the Greater Metro Conference.
Metro. No,
Germantown.
And Brookfield East.
Brook East and Germantown, you're right. This is Lewinsky fighting his way forward out to the 45-yard line. Dominic Coleman there to make the stop.
They've got Zach Storbakken in now at quarterback. It's nice to have two juniors like Arado and Storbakken.
It's going to be an interesting quarterback battle going into next year for this Hamilton team.
Well, I think they've been comfortable playing both guys, and Storbakken, because he also can double as a running back. It's not something where the competition is going to have a negative result. I think the two guys can complement each other very well.
3rd and 1 from the 45. And again, Lewinsky will pick up the first down across the 45 out to the 46-yard line. Bryant and Stratton College Athletic, first down, picked up by Lewinsky. Henry Barnes was there to make the stop. Henry Hansen, 6'3", 185, a senior.
47.
Plays baseball. His dad, of course, the head baseball coach at Menomonee Falls.
Yeah, they're starting to work in a few of their younger players in. You've got Will Eckening's younger brother, 89 Aiden Eckening, 6'2", 200-pound sophomore.
And they try over the left side. Again, Lewinsky with the carry. Again, Hansen able to make the stop. We had that shot of John D'Amato, the head coach here at Sussex Hamilton. You were really impressed with the way he works with players on correcting bad plays and misplays.
A kid would make a mistake. He'd say, Jones, step out for a second. Then he'd go over and talk individually with him. Didn't yell at him, didn't rail all over him. I think that's what you have to learn to do. Sometimes you need a little tough love, but sometimes you need to be able to give that kid that pat when you need it.
Yeah, we've seen, it kind of runs the gamut as a coach. You got the, sarcastic commentary, or you come down hard on a kid, or in that case, you say, hey, let's just chat individually. That's James Troutman with a nice run. Give him forward progress to the Falls 45-yard line. There's something to be said about that, too. I mean, hey, the kids respond a little bit better instead of being called out and yelled at, rather than, hey, okay, this is what you did, and this is how we can correct it. So you get another look here at the run by Troutman.
That little counter, though, if the last thing you go home with is a negative comment, that's not going to help you build your confidence in yourself or kind of have those positive feelings you want to have.
Well, and again, it's not just, okay, you made a mistake, but what did I do wrong, and how can I make it better the next time? What do I need to do to improve so I don't make that same mistake? Struggles for the first down. Devon Lewinsky, 6'1", 203-pound senior. Coming into this game had just 16 carries, but had a pretty good accounting of himself tonight.
Right, he's had some excellent runs. Be interesting to see what they do here, 4th and short. They're sending in those plays.
Yep. Those numbers mean something, as well as the colors and where the colors are in relation to the stars.
I wonder who gets selected to flip those cards. I wonder if there's extra points on your next test if you do it well.
Quickly in under center.
Trying to draw them offside.
They're just going to take the clock all the way down here, take their timeout with 40 seconds to go. Good crowd here tonight. Home crowd going to go away happy here this evening. As we mentioned, a chance now for Sussex Hamilton. This will get to them 3rd conference win of the season. They've got Tosa East next week. Then they're home here hosting Brooks Central. And they'll wrap up the season at Germantown. And again, the magic number is 4. 4 conference wins in the Greater Metro, and you'll be playoff eligible.
I think within the past 3 years, every team that has been 500 in their conference has made the playoffs.
Yeah, the 3 of us, George included, we talked about that prior to the game, about how that works with the 4 wins in a conference like that.
And I'm sure, as we mentioned earlier, that's one reason they held Julius Davis out. Their Falls would like to believe they're going to get one more win and get into the playoffs, so they want him healthy.
Storbakken from the pistol will hand it off. Lewinsky fighting for that first down. Going to be close. He's going to be short, and I think the Falls defense going to take over here. Didn't quite get it. So the Indians will take over here with 36 seconds to play. They go out of conference next week. The crossover game with the Classic 8 will be Kettle Moraine. It'll be a home game for Falls next Friday night. Then they will host Tosa East on October 5th, and then they travel to Brook Central, wrapping up the regular season on October 12th. McLean will get them to the line of scrimmage one more time. He will hand it off. Nice run down the far sideline. Out of bounds near the 40. It was Luke Nowak again. He's had some good runs here in this fourth quarter.
We've mentioned, a number of times how young Falls happens to be. So we've seen probably 9 or 10 sophomores play prominent roles for Menomonee Falls.
Nice 20-yard run here. Sets up a 1st and 10 with 29 seconds to go. Nowak again gets the call. Not much there, maybe a yard or two, and Indians can elect not to snap it here. Sussex Hamilton will pitch a shutout in the rivalry game. They'll end the 4-game winning streak here by Falls in this series. And so the Chargers with the victory here tonight, 24-0 over their arch rivals from just across the way, the Menomonee Falls Indians. With the win now, Hamilton back to 3-3 on the season, while Menomonee Falls falls to 3-3 overall in the season.
I'm sure both teams are going to be able to take some things out of here that they feel positive about. Falls, despite the score, didn't play bad defense. Just their offense couldn't get on track. Sussex, on the other hand, did a number of nice things. Played hard defense, showed signs of times of really having the offense kick into gear.
Your final here tonight, Sussex Hamilton, the homestanding Chargers shutting out Menomonee Falls 24-0. When we come back, we'll have our Player of the Game award. We'll award our trophies as well. All that coming up in the postgame when we return on the Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights on My 24. Sussex Hamilton Chargers pitch the shutout tonight. They get the one touchdown here early in the third quarter, the 50-yard run by Arado after taking a 17-0 lead at the half, and they roll tonight 24-0 over Menomonee Falls.
Nice, comeback performance after 3 losses.
So we're just about set to head back down to the sideline, talked with tonight's Player of the Game, and here's Mike McGivern.
What's going on, guys?
Perfect.
Hey, I'm trying to sing here. Lucas Fennessy, excuse me. He's our Player of the Game. Junior, man, that's the way to start a football game right there, young man. A pick 6. Well done.
Thank you. I thought we did well as a team in the beginning, stopping their offense, and then we pretty much controlled them on defense.
Hey, so you go both ways, offense and defense. You like the side of the ball any better than the other?
Just wherever I can play, wherever the coaches want me, and just be a team player.
You don't mind hitting people on the defensive side, do you?
No, I do not.
No, he does not. He's a heck of a football player, and that's the way to start a game right there. Sergeant Livingston?
Hey, thank you. That was a great game, Lucas. And, a lot of teamwork. You're helping out your team, willing to play both ways. That's, epitome of what the U.S. Army's looking for is a team player, that Army team mentality, all right? Congratulations, man.
Well done, boys. Back to you guys.
Mike, thank you very much. Lucas Fennessy, our Player of the Game tonight, and what a night tonight. The pick 6 early that really set the stage tonight.
The watershed moment, truly, because it probably put doubt in Falls' mind right off the bat.
Returned that one 60 yards, and then actually caught this one here over the middle on offense. So playing both ways tonight. And then his second pick coming late in that second quarter in the end zone for the touchback. So Lucas Fennessy, our Player of the Game tonight, presented by United States Army. Army strong. Congratulations to Lucas Fennessy as the Hamilton Chargers roll to a 24-0 lead. Time now for our winner's trophy presentation brought to you by Rudig Trophies. When you think trophies, think Rudig. Once again, here's Mike.
Hey, I didn't think Coach D'Amato would be here, so I grabbed one of the captains. Man, really nice job for you boys tonight. This is when you guys need it.
Yeah, huge win for us. Now we're on to next week.
We're on to next week. Coach D'Amato, we talked a little bit before the game. You said, look, if we get this one, then we got a chance to do really well here at the stretch. Feel good about the way these boys played tonight. I listened to you when they scored right away coming out of halftime. You said, look, way to respond. We challenged you guys at halftime, and you took that, and certainly a quick score. Feel good about these boys?
Absolutely. I couldn't be happier for these men, and I couldn't be happier for my seniors. So this is a special time for them. Get it in here. Here we go.
Hey, that's what I'm supposed to do that stuff. Boys, back to you.
Mike, get out of there. It's going to get ugly quickly. Hamilton tonight ends a 3-game losing skid. They end a 4-game skid at the hands of Menomonee Falls in convincing fashion tonight, 24-0.
You know, sometimes you look for a pivot point in a season, and I'm sure Coach D'Amato hopes this was it for the 2018 Chargers.
We'll take our pivot point. We're going to pivot to a commercial break. Come back with a final word here from Hamilton High School right after this on My 24. Night of big plays for Sussex Hamilton. They get the 60-yard interception return for a touchdown, a big 44-yard field goal to end the first half, and the 50-yard touchdown run by Arado here in the second half.
Film will be a lot more fun watching tomorrow night than it has been previous couple of weeks.
Next week, we turn our attentions to the Milwaukee City Conference, a huge matchup that will decide the division as Riverside takes on Rufus King High School next Thursday night. Please don't forget tonight's game will be rebroadcast Sunday night at 7 right here on My 24. That'll do it here from Hamilton High School. My thanks to John Pearson and Mike McGivern, Carol Kane down on the sidelines, to George Papacristo, our spotter, Ryan Horvat, our stat man tonight, Terry Kelly alongside John Weiser, wishing you all a very pleasant good evening from Hamilton High School. The Chargers with the win over Menomonee Falls, 24-0. The Heiser Automotive Group Thursday Night Lights, presented by U.S. Cellular on My 24. Good night, everyone.